Hey y'all, it's me, it's your girl, the real deal, Lanita Skills Reaction. And yes, I'm back and I hope everyone doing fine, well, whatever, and getting ready for the new year's, okay? Yeah, we got a whole brand new year ahead of us, right? But I'm not gonna be here too long, but I'll be here as long as y'all want me to. I've been following the YSL. I'm not gonna say gang members. I'm gonna say YSL uh, case. I've been following this Young Dolph case. Okay. As y'all know, a lot of people taking plea deals, but today the judge got a surprise. Okay, the judge got a surprise today, y'all. Okay, he ended up with two YSL gang members so shocked the judge. Now, in this situation right here, the judge was, I don't know what the judge trying to say to them. Was he trying to help them? But he did make them understand a word that I haven't seen, but it's not the same as what I think it is. I just want to talk about it a little bit. I just want y'all to get into the case. And y'all know I like the debate. Okay. Uh, let's talk about what went on in court today. Well, everybody else been taking a plea. Okay, everybody been taking a plea on the case. I figure like this: if whatever these young men decide to do, they got to really, 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 really feel that not feel. They got to know that they are not, they haven't did anything. If you go to trial, you really saying that I ain't do nothing, I ain't got nothing to hide. That's what you saying. I ain't got nothing to hide, I ain't did nothing. So what I'm doing this for, what I'm doing it for. So two YSL gang members reject the state's plea today, y'all. They reject it. Now, that ain't funny now. If you go to trial and they plead you guilty, they try. If you go to trial and those people got to say they got to vote whether or not you telling the truth, you got to make sure you come in at them hard. Now you sure you got lawyers before you take that. Since you didn't take them pleas, you gonna have to have a good lawyer. You gonna have to make sure that you didn't do this, you didn't do that, because those two young men, y'all. Let me tell y'all. Look, those two YSL gang members reject the state's plea deal on Thursday ahead of young thug. Keep saying young thug Rico trial. Okay, now Tenquarius Mender, as known as Nod, they call him Nod in the YSL, and he faces 50 years if he's convicted the charge against him. Okay, he faces 50 years. Now, for him to not to take that plea, that young man knows something that we don't know. They're not no dummies not doing this. He probably figured that if he go to court, if he get in front of the trial and not a trial but a jury, and they say he guilty, he gonna be in there forever. So he must have some big proof. So Tenquarius, better known as Nod, uh, he denied that he rejected his plea deal. Okay, now let's get to the other one. Now on the other hand, you got Derontae. I hope I'm saying his name right. Derontae Bebee, as known as B. Now, he faces a life sentence. I think that 25, I'm not sure, y'all, because I ain't never been in jail like that. The judge tried to get them to reconsider. Now, this judge right here, they got a good judge. This man has educated them young boys. since they've been in that courtroom. He has educated the lawyers, everybody in that courtroom. He has not been biased at all. I like him. They got looked up with a judge like that. Yeah. He don't play, but he educating them at the same time. He must be getting ready to retire. Okay, so now Derontae, I think his name Derontae, Bebee, known as B, he faces life sentence. The judge, y'all, tried to get them to reconsider the plea. He tried to get them to reconsider the plea deal. And how he was trying to do that, when they had breaks, they did a break. And it's a word that they use is, like when you go to court, it's a lot of words that they use that I'd be lost. I would be lost. And he said uncertainty means. He gave them to read what uncertainty means. Not uncertainly, but uncertainty means. Uh, you probably going to lose if you get a jury. That's he was trying to educate those two that was who rejected they plea that if you get a jury, you're probably going to lose. Okay, that's what the judge was telling them what uncertainty means. Okay, just in case they might not understand it. So the judge went back through the breaks and said to his my brothers, let me tell y'all what these words mean. He said, let me tell y'all what these words mean. Uncertainty, and he gave them the definition for it. And not to take this very reasonable plea. It's I guess they know what they were doing. They had a lawyer, y'all. I don't know if it was a public defender. I don't know why those boys didn't take the plea. Maybe they know something that we don't know. But I'm gonna let y'all hear this video. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Y'all enjoy y'all holiday, and I'll be back in here with another reaction soon. Okay. All right.
Purposes of posterity, but she's ready to do that this time. Okay. We're ready. Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Your Honor, as it relates to Mr. Tenauarius Mender, Mr. Mender is charged with count 1 of the indictment, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, which carries a sentence of 5 to 20 years. He's also charged with count 44 of the indictment, which is possession of a weapon by an incarcerated individual, which carries a sentence of 1 to 5 years. Count 45, possession of a telecommunication device by an incarcerated individual, which carries a sentence of 1 to 5 years. And last, count 46, which participates in criminal street gang activity, which carries a sentence of 5 to 20 years.
I think the ghost fucked my husband.
Hold on, y'all. That's a commercial. Let me skip it. Poor babies.
Mender is an ANC recidivist. The state did file a recidivist notice on December 9th of this year. If Mr. Mender was found guilty of all the counts in the indictment, he'd be looking at a maximum exposure of 50 years to serve in prison.
And now, could you explain the difference? I think for Ms. I'm sure that Ms. Fagan has probably explained that to her client. But can you tell Mr. for the benefit of the record and for Mr. Mender's benefit, what potentially may happen if he were to be convicted of any of these particular counts? Like what would, under A or C?
Yes, if he's convicted of any of the counts, as an ANC recidivist, Mr. Mender, you would have to get the maximum amount on for that charge, and then whatever time the court gives you, which would be the maximum, you have to spend every day door to door. Which means you have to spend every day in custody.
You get no good time.
No.
It's a to-the-door sentence.
Yes, he would get any credit for a time served,
Of course, yeah,
but
absolutely.
anything else would be a full sentence door to door.
So his max is 50 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what's the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's offer for Mr. Mender as to count one is 16 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served, with a balance of 15 years on probation. The state would offer that his probation could be terminated upon successful completion of the first 10 years of this sentence, provided that he violated no provisions of the agreement or no special conditions of the agreement, and that he violates no law of the state of Georgia. As to count 44, the state's recommendation is 5 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served, with a balance to be served on probation, concurrent count one. As to count 45, it would be 5 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served and confinement, commuted to time served, followed by 4 years on probation, concurrent with counts 1 and 44. And count 46 would be 16 years to serve 1 year, commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation, concurrent with count 1, 44, and 45. Would be the offer. Mr. Mender also is currently on another indictment, 21 SC 178250. In this case, as a part of the agreement, would run concurrent with that case whenever he resolved that other case, Your Honor.
Is that before me or before another division?
It is in this division currently, Your Honor. And that's being handled by ADA Laura Jansen with the state.
Does he have bond on that case ending in 250?
I don't believe he has a bond on that case. No, he has a no bond status.
But on this case, his potential, he could go home today.
Correct. If he was given a bond, this case, he would not have served any jail time on this case.
Okay.
And that offer will also conclude today, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Fagan, have you communicated that to your client in terms of, is that to correctly summarize the plea agreement? Or the potential plea offer, I should say?
The only change was that he wasn't aware of the concurrent status for the second case. At this time, though, he still maintains a not guilty plea.
Sure.
Respectfully rejects the offer, and we announce ready for trial.
Okay, Mr. Mender, I'll tell you and I'll tell Mr. Bebee and Mr. Stevens the same thing, okay? At this point, you have the absolute right to plead not guilty, and that's what the law will presume, and the court will, of course, instruct that you have a presumption and the presumptions and protections you enjoy as a criminal accused. You have to decide for yourselves what you want to do in this particular case, depending upon the results or the outcome of the trial. The only thing I would tell you, Mr. Mender, is the most, and I'm sure that Ms. Fagan, she's a very fine attorney. Seen her work. But trials, there's one thing about trials, it's uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen. So, you got to beat 4 counts. If you don't beat them, what will happen is, under this ANC recidivist statute, I have to, under the law, sentence you to the maximum sentence. And then whatever I sentence you to, you serve to the door. That's not anything I have any discretion over. It's not anything because I don't like
Yeah, I like this judge. He's breaking it down to these young boys. He breaking it down to what uncertain means. He telling them what he going to give them, the max. So what they sure they want to go in front of jury? All right.
because of what you're being charged with, or whatever. Those have nothing to do with anything. That's what the state of Georgia, the legislature has mandated that I sentence you to. So one of the things a plea does is you know what you get. It caps your exposure. So, and what the state's telling you today is if you take the plea today, this is what you're going to get. And this is what I probably sentence you to. And you're done. You got to decide that for yourself. You can't be...
Whoa, wait! I like him, y'all. I like that judge trying to help save them young boys. He trying to save them. They better thank God they got a judge like that. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. I got to hear my brother talk. I got to hear him. He trying to tell them what uncertain mean, and they better use their own head. That's what he trying to say. Use your own mind. Don't listen to nobody else. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I like this judge.
Attached to this indictment, because a plea is individual to that particular person for those particular reasons that he or she feels is of best interest to them, not anybody else. So, you want a couple minutes out to talk with Ms. Fagan about that? Nobody will be the wiser, and certainly, but if you don't wish to do so, that's fine too. You get the fairest trial that the law demands and expects you to get, you will get that.
That's right.
I, as your trial judge, will make sure that that occurs. But one of the things I cannot do is, I can't force the state at the end of trial to pull this recidivist notice. If you get convicted, they can maintain it, and you'll serve every day of it. And Ms. Fagan can ask them to pull it, and they can say no. I can't make them do that. So, you've got a lot to think about. So, I'll give you a few more minutes to ponder that.
Y'all better listen.
That is, when they file a recidivist notice, they basically, in poker terms, they called.
You know, I'm looking at the expression on his head, on his face. That's why he in there now. Because he don't listen. Look at the expression on his face. All right, then, you know, Judge, if they want to go in front of the jury and the jury found them guilty, you know, that is what it is. They can reject their plea all day.
So, I'll let you think about that, and you can let me know, and if not, then we'll see you next week for trial.
I better think, man.
Mr. Bebee, you're in.
Here you are. Judge, we're in a similar situation where we would reject the state's offer as provided on record, Your Honor. However, Mr. Bebee.
Now, this dude right here, he gonna take his plea. He gonna take his plea. Hold on, y'all. Let me bring him down here. He took it. He took his plea deal. He trying to get up out that mother sucker. He ain't did, and he know he was down there for repping. So let me pull. Hold on, he took his deal. I don't blame him. Them other two want to sit in there. Let them sit in there. We're gonna try to save the ones who want to be saved. Here you go. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for a second. I don't know what happened to it. The other boy think it's a joke. You know, these young folks don't think nothing. Some, I ain't gonna say all of them, some of them don't think that stuff is real. Now, this dude right here, he's the 8th YSL gang member that took his plea. Hold on. Hold on. He took his deal. He took his deal. Yeah.
Your right to obtain a passport, your right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment.
Now, this dude right here, he took his. He the 8th YSL gang member that took his plea. Yeah, he took his plea and agreed to testify against Young Thug. Only thing Young Thug is in there, y'all, allegedly, is for speed tickets.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or use a firearm in a crime, you will be guilty of a felony which may carry a sentence of 1 to 15 years.
Yes.
Do you understand that you waive any and all offenses, including any mental health offenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand if you went to trial, that you had the right to a trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you, and the right to testify or to remain silent and not incriminate yourself?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights? And after each right, I'm going to ask you to say yes or no if you understand, okay? You understand that you're giving up the right to a trial by jury,
Yes.
the right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself,
Yes.
the
God,
right
we
to
can't
confront
see
witnesses
him.
against you,
Yes.
the right to assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at the trial of your case,
Yes.
the right to the presumption of innocence,
Yes.
The right to testify on behalf and to present other evidence.
Yes.
The right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence.
Yes.
The right to have the charges against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
The right to appeal if convicted of these charges after.
I wish they'll let us see him. Let me put it up a little bit, y'all, so y'all can see what he look like. I don't know if he hiding out behind the attorney. I want to see his face. Hold on for me. He all hiding behind his attorney right now. Y'all can't even see him. Hold on. I can't even see him. He hid behind her.
When Mr. Stevens has a picture of himself on social media. He has several pictures on social media. Some of those captions on the video, on the images, identify YSL by using the term slime shit, and actually tags Mr. Stevens with one of his former Instagram handles as digital slime underscore slug. Also in January 2015, he has a drug incident that comes from 1813 Sylvan Road, in which he was found with narcotics in the vehicle.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Also in one of the counts in our indictment, Your Honor, he was in a car off of Cleveland Avenue, which is in the YSL stronghold. He was in that car with a co-defendant on this indictment, Shannon Jackson, also known as Shannon Stillwell. While in the car, officers smelled the odor of marijuana. Upon the search of the vehicle, they found marijuana and a gun. At the time of finding both the gun, both him as well as Mr. Jackson were both convicted felons, and they were being charged accordingly. Your Honor, as you heard within the factual acknowledgement, he's also been engaged in conversations with other members of this indictment. We won't go back over what was said, but we also heard that through the factual acknowledgement in this case. So, Your Honor, based upon that factual synopsis and Mr. Stevens' affiliation, we were asked that the court accept his plea. Also, we would like to tender Stacey Bennett 1 TS.
All right.
Which?
TS.
1 TF. Any objection, Ms. Gladden?
No, Your Honor.
All right, states 1 TF is admitted.
TS, Your Honor, S as in Stevens.
CS?
T as in Trontavius, S as in Stevens.
All right. Any objection, madam?
No, Your Honor.
All right, it's admitted for purpose of plea. Ms. Pilton, those facts that you,
I don't know why he hiding behind the attorney. But just in case y'all can't see him, that's him down there. I don't know why he's he's the eighth one getting out, y'all. It's a lot of them members in there. Hold on for a minute. Here we go.
court, those are facts that you would state with a plea and have the case go on the trial beyond a reasonable doubt as it pertains to Mr. Stevens?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Ms. Gladden, again, good evening, madam. Anything you want to present on Mr. Stevens' behalf?
Just briefly, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Judge, I just wanted to point out, as the court, of course, can ascertain by the fact that he was only charged in the RICO count. He's not involved and hasn't been charged separately in any criminal activity regarding this case that has been alleged against some other co-defendants. He had a string of issues in 2011, 12, 13. He went to prison in 2015 and has been out since end of 2018, and since then he's been a model parolee. He's passed all of his urine screens. He's not gotten in any more trouble. In fact, they put a parole hold on him, but when they found out that this was mostly based on old crimes and a few posts that were innocuous and some pictures, they did remove the parole hold. So I'm asking the court to accept the state's recommendation, and I did just wanted to point out that he's tried to be a good citizen and do what he's supposed to do since he's been out of prison, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Stevens, good evening, sir. Good evening. Sir, do you have the opportunity to fully discuss the facts and circumstances of this case with your attorney, Ms. Gladden, to your satisfaction?
Yes, sir.
Did she explain to you the various constitutional rights you give up by pleading guilty to your satisfaction?
Yes, sir.
Those are the same rights that my prosecutor, Ms.
I
Hilton,
don't know why he don't
just set
slag
forth
his
on the record a few
up.
minutes ago. Do you have any questions about those rights you wish to ask me?
No,
All right. I am holding the indictment in this case. Okay? And on page 6 of the indictment, I'm going to show you. Is this your signature on the page of this indictment above the word defendant?
yes, sir.
All right. Before signing this indictment, did you have the opportunity to fully discuss the facts and circumstances of this indictment with your attorney, Ms. Gladden, to your satisfaction?
Yes.
Yes?
Tell the truth.
Do you need more time to discuss it with her?
No.
Okay, but before you signed it,
That's
you
right.
had an opportunity to talk with her,
Yeah.
and you don't want to talk with her about the indictment anymore?
No.
Okay, all right. I'll note the indictment's been signed and the plea has been entered. Mr. Stevens, based upon the responses that you've given during the court's inquiry, I find that your guilty plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I find a factual basis for your plea. I'm going to accept your plea as tendered and as negotiated. To count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, the court will sentence you to 10 years to serve 2 years. I'll commute that to the time you've already served, with a balance of 8 years on probation, subject to the special conditions that have already been set forth on the record. I'll go through those with you right now. But is that your understanding as to the base sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you shall abide by each and every condition of the negotiated agreement. That's the one that you signed and Ms. Gladden signed along with the state's counsel. Remember that one?
Yes, sir.
That states SC1 as it pertains to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right. You shall testify truthfully about all matters relating to this case upon which you are questioned in any trial or judicial proceedings stemming from the facts alleged in the indictment. We agree to do that, right? Okay. In accordance with testifying truthfully about the statements contained within the defendant's factual acknowledgments, which was already read into the record, are true, you shall testify about those statements in any matters related to the case when you're asked to do so.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You'll possess no guns unless your right to do so is restored. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
You shall submit to random screens.
Well, anyway, I'm on. Anyway, he got his plea deal. He got his, and the other 2 guys. So he the 8th YSL member that did a plea deal. But now these 2 guys right here, like I said earlier, YSL, they did not, they reject their, and they can do it. They reject their plea, so they'll be doing their time in there till they go to trial. This young man and this young man right here, he rejected his plea deal, and the young man right here. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. I will be staying on this case since I'm right here in the ATL, and I know exactly the areas that they are speaking of. Yeah, but I'm not looking at them as, I'm just looking at them as young boys. Okay, but y'all and subscribe. I'm out. Thanks for watching.